Looks like Gulf Coast men's basketball coach Wendell Weathers has a lot of depth on this year's squad and some improved outside shooting. Let's talk with Coach Weathers and look at his 2018-2019 squad.
You know, Don, it's really early to tell. We've got a lot of new kids, a lot of young guys coming in. I think they're going to be very, very good players. Right now, they're tremendously inexperienced at this level. They're having to get used to the more equivalency and the talent and the skill set that they're running against each day versus, you know, maybe what they had a year ago. But I like this group of guys. They're working really hard. They're learning. They're buying in. So, you know, we like what we have, and we'll just see where we can go with it. We have a long way to go, though. Well, I hope this team's going to be, you know, twofold. Right now, I think we're going to have a lot more depth than we had last year. Now, that being said, last year's team ran into a bunch of injuries that we typically don't run into. But right now, this team looks to be a lot deeper. A problem that we had last year offensively is we did not score very well consistently from the perimeter. This team, I think, is going to be much better from the perimeter than that group last year, which is going to expand our offense. It's going to give us more opportunities to do other things that we like to do. Well, Spivery's our returning point guard. Lorraine has done a really, really good job for us last year, probably exceeded our expectations as a freshman. And he just comes with a lot of experience and a lot of confidence and involves the rest of the guys. And you know, if you don't have a point guard, you don't have a good quarterback, you know, you're fighting an uphill battle from the get-go. And so, you know, Lorraine's going to be, you know, kind of the stable point for where this thing all starts and where it begins. JAYLEN's coming back off of one of those season-ending injuries last year. Right now, he's doing really well out there. It's just a matter of getting back in the groove of things. But he's a big, strong, 6'4" kid, extremely athletic, and we expect a lot out of him. Quan's our returning 4'5" guy. He's very long, very athletic. We're expecting big things out of him. He was, last year was his first year back into basketball, 2 years out. So we think he's going to be much, much better this year than he was last year, and he gained a world of experience last year, so we're expecting big things out of him as well. KEEVON ONEY was our starting two guard down the stretch last year, and he's playing exceptionally well right now. Brings a ton of length and athleticism to our guard spot. So KEEVON's doing really, really well as well. BURBRIDGE is another guy that's coming off of another one of those season-ending injuries, and he appears to be pretty much back to full speed right now. We just got to get him back in the groove and let him learn what we're doing. Phoenix Ford, 6'8" transfer from University of Richmond, is doing a really good job right now. He's got things he's got to improve upon, but he's going to be a solid mid-major prospect when he leaves here. And we don't know, you know, exactly what his future is going to hold. He's a guy that can stay 2 years here. If he does that, I think that his recruiting will go much, much higher. But at the same time, he's in a position where he could leave after a year, and right now he's getting a lot of solid mid-major looks. Well, TAFARI is another very, very talented incomer. He's having to learn our system, and it's been a little bit, you know, slow for him. But we're expecting big things out of him. He's kind of a non-positional player with his skill set and his length and his size. He can legitimately play the 3, 4, 5 for us in our system, and we think that he will cause a lot of mismatch problems, you know, for folks as we get into this thing. Well, we're really excited about this group of guards that we have coming in. Ryan Black, Dylan Neely from Biloxi, AJ Banks from Pearl River Central, Micah Brown from Petal. These guys are going to bring a whole different level to our offense, we hope. These guys can really, really shoot the ball out on the floor. Dylan and Ryan both made over 100 threes last year in their senior year at their respective high schools. all 4 of these guys shot over 40% from three-point line their senior year in high school. So that's an area that we wanted to address. We felt like it was a problem that we had last year, and hopefully that, you know, we're not going to run into that so much this year. Micah's a kid that's got you know, he's really intriguing. He's a 6'3.5" point guard, and he's got a world of potential ahead of him. He's just got to learn what's going on at this level. Willie Logan is a 6'5" transfer from Pearl River, and he's been a huge surprise for us. We recruited him out of high school, chose to go to Pearl River, had a change of heart at the end of last year, and he's done a really good job early on for us. Well, I think the South's going to be just like the South typically every year. I think it's going to be a dogfight right down to the end. I think Jones is going to be better than they were last year. Pearl River won the state last year, and they're as good probably or better than they were last year. Southwest is going to compete. Colin's going to compete. The South's it's going to be a dogfight. You know, typically our conference champion, if you want to call them that, at the end of the regular season, that usually is not determined sometimes to the last game of the season. So I don't know that this will be any different. You know, it's going to be a struggle. It's very well balanced. Well, right now, I don't know. It looks kind of like a bomb hit it, but they're making progress on that. You can see some things that they've done and see where it's going to go. The front of the gym's starting to take shape out there. I know those guys have been hampered a little bit by the weather and the rain, but we're hoping in the next few weeks they'll be through with that, and we'll have a tremendously brand new facelift on the outside that will be much more modern and attractive to folks coming and going.